Hello everyone, and welcome back to Lakeside. So this is a video a week after my operation, well, a week tomorrow. And for those interested, the eye operation went very well. Bloody painful at the beginning until they anaesthetised the area around the eye, but the first injection was horrendous. It was really painful. I'm pretty lucky in that I can stand a fair bit of pain, but this first injection was never known anything like it. It was really painful. He put the needle in just about here, and I think that scraped me off the ceiling. But anyway, I was there for about 3 hours in total, so not long at all. That was from arrival, waiting, getting booked in, and then the operation, which was incredibly weird. I've never had anything like that. I was in the waiting room, and I got called in. Nurse came over, she walked me over, went through this 2 doors, and I was straight into the operating theatre. No change of clothes or anything. And I just got laid down on this chair. They wound me down flat, and the operation took place. And yeah, it's very bizarre. I thought I'd have to be in like a gown or something, but no change of clothes whatsoever. But yeah, it all went very well. It's gradually healing. The eye is not blurred like it was after the operation. That was primarily because of the grease and oil and stuff they'd put on it. But over the course of the days, last 7 days, it's gradually cleared up. I'm not getting any pain now from when I blink or look down. I can look down now and there's nothing there. They've put quite a few stitches in which will dissolve over a period of time, and I can feel it's tight across here, but that's where the stitches are. So once they start dissolving, then that will relax the eye, so it won't feel so tight. But apart from that, very successful. I'm looking and it's crystal clear. Haven't got to wear my glasses anymore, thank goodness. So yeah, very successful. So thank you very much for all your support throughout this, and it obviously really appreciate that support. So thank you all very much for that. So let's crack on. We're going to be talking about this heritage yard. I had a lot of comments on the previous video with regard to this, and I've taken note of some of them. Others I haven't. But it's very very much to my preferences, if you like. Now I know that there are things which some will say, oh well, you shouldn't really put that like that, it should pretty. Yeah, I know, but I could go on indefinitely changing things around. Excuse me. And I had this with my previous layout where I was doing a diesel maintenance yard, and I was following all the comments saying you need to move this up the other end, and in the end I just said, you know what, I'm stopping, because everybody has their own opinion of where things should go, how things should look. As you know, my railway is not, I won't use that P word, it's not real life. It's just a model, almost a little bit like a train set. So as long as I'm happy with the way it kind of looks, then that's all I'm worried about. I'm not really worried about whether it should happen like that or not. I don't know enough. I would never get anything built if I just kept on taking advice on where things should go, because everybody has their own opinion. So it's my layout, rule 1, as they say. So I'm just going to do it how I feel happy with it, and if it's wrong, it's wrong. I don't care. But I spent a day or so, well not a day, a couple of hours last week up here, not doing anything, just looking, moving things around, and this is what I've come up with. There may be a few things like buildings changing position slightly when you come to see it properly, but it's pretty much there as regards track work. Buildings I can shuffle around as and when. So I think the best thing is for me to take you off the tripod once again, and I'll bring you closer to it and I'll kind of explain my thoughts behind it. Okay? See you in a minute. Okay, right, we're back again, and we'll start off from here, which seems to be the natural choice to start from at the beginning. So I've got a single point just coming off and leading into or one track leading off going into the heritage yard, and then I have another point here again leading off, but I did take Dan's advice from Dan's Model Railways and putting in a three-way point here, because what that will do will be to serve these two lines going down here, and also another line going off to the turntable. So there's two points, one there, and then a three-way point, and that will get me nicely onto the area. So if you remember what I said last time, this track, which was just a spare bit of track I kept in, but that now is going to be incorporated within the yard, because it goes up and around the sheds and then stops at a buffer stop. So I can store locos, carriages, etc. on that line, no problem. That is my new Derby Lightweight there. So she's in the storage there, ready to go out, should she want to. And then with the sheds, I have moved them. Now I've moved them over that way, along with that, because I wanted them pretty much straight, going to to try and relieve any tight curves coming out of the sheds. So I've moved them over more centrally to the turntable, so it decreases any sharp bends I have in the track. And as you can see, there's very little radius on those tracks there. Bearing in mind this is all rough at the moment. And I have this track running down to that shed there. So that's 5 tracks going to sheds. And then if I come back up here, and there will be security fencing. I've just put that there from my old yard I used to have. There will be fencing and gates to shut off this area from the main area of the layout. I've got loads of security fencing, but I'll just have to get a couple more gates, I think, to go across here and around, but it will all be blocked off by security fencing. So right, and this is where things may change. So I've got a single point here which goes off to another track to the feed into the turntable, so that if I've got a loco here having its ashes taken out onto the ash pit, it can still get, another loco can still get in or out via this track here. And as we come along this track, we have another 3-way point. This will all get bent into shape, so that there are some nice curves here, so it won't be sharp. I've got 2 tracks here at the moment, and there will be a 3rd track running up here. Don't forget, this will all be infilled now with a piece of board. So I'll have 3 tracks running down here. There's only 2 showing at the moment, and that's where I can probably store things like coaches, wagons, which they've got around. Some of these coaches may be in for repair and might have a tarpaulin over it, that sort of thing. The oil tank is now away from the ash pit here, which is what some people were advising, to keep the oil away from any sparks, etc. And because this is going to be filled in here, I can quite happily put that here at a later stage when it's filled in. So that will clear that area up so it's not so cluttered, but at the moment obviously I've got to put it there to rest. Got the water tower there, and a few locos in the sheds being worked on. So I've got 2 diesels there. I've got the Class 4, Class 8, 08, Derby Lightweight, and a Class 47. So they're my diesels, and then I've got various steam locos. Oh, I've got another 08 there, and the GT there covered up. I've got various steam locos in there. Got a couple more here. So it's fairly well catered for, and I think, using my imagination anyway, which I hope you will too, I think you can see that it might not be correct, but at least it gives the impression of a working heritage yard with various locomotives, rolling stock that they've acquired. So that's about it. I will take all this lot off next. Now that my eye is healing up gradually, I can start work by laying some of this track down, but first of all I've got to make this infill first, and I can do that now. So make that infill, and then I can start laying track down, plus dropper wires, etc. I've got to get a few bits and pieces like insulator frogs, insulating fish plates, and another pack of fish plates because I'm getting quite low on those now, and some track pins. What else? Yeah, I think that's about it really. It's just now taking that lot off again and relaying the track properly, and start wiring it up, including the turntable. Now, as you know, I've got the turntable working, so it's just a case of wiring it up and then redoing all the positions of the turntable once I've got this track down around here and around here. Once they are firmed up and they're in the correct position, I can then go back to this and recalibrate it to stop and start at the different track positions. So I think that's it, people. I'm not going to drag it on. I just wanted to show you the second iteration, if you like, with points and the extra track. I'm pleased with the positions of the sheds now, because that does make it a lot better for locos coming in with the shallow curves. That will work nicely. That one's dead straight, that goes straight into that small shed, so that's no issue at all. All these buildings which you see scattered around, they're just things which I thought would look nice, but I have taken quite a bit of stuff off because it was looking a bit cluttered. So I might not even have that building there, for instance. I might get rid of that. I want this little one for the turntable area, but I may take that building off. I've got the porter cabin over there, along with the bicycle sheds, because obviously when workers come up on their bikes, they can put their bikes there, and they immediately right next door to the porter cabin, where they can put a brew on as soon as they arrive for breakfast. So the bike rack and the porter cabin kind of go together. Whether they stay in that position or not, I don't know. They may move. If I get rid of that building, it might be better off having it there. So that's a thought. I mean, I can do that now. I can just lift that off. I can take that and the bike shed and the steps, like that, and I think that that clears that area up nicely. Doesn't look quite so cramped. So, you know, they're the things I want to work on as I'm laying it out, which doesn't involve moving any track as such. It's just buildings. I've only got one water crane, excuse me, one water crane now, which is by the ash pit and the coal, so which is here. So anything which, as regards the steamer, has got water there, it's got its ash pit there, and it's got coal, so it can come in, refill with water, refill with coal, and then either, if it's come out from the shed, then it can do all that this side of the turntable. It's not blocking anything because it's got another feed here to come in, so if anybody else wants to move anything, they can. So I think that's about it. I'll say it's probably not that P word, but really I can't comment on that because I just do not know anything really about it. I'm just going by general looks, if you like, of will it work? Yes, it will. Does it look like a yard? Kind of. But I think once I've got it all laid down with accessories, with the groundwork done, then I think it should look kind of like a yard, which is all I'm after, to be honest. I just want it to work, that's the main thing, which I know it will. I have full faith, and I know I can get all this working. It just might not be correct, shall we say. Okay, so I think that's about it, people. Thank you very much again for watching, and it's much appreciated, and hopefully you can see that now taking shape. I can see it in my mind's eye, and it should work out okay. Oh yeah, I've got the diesel refueling point there, so again that's far enough away from the ash pit not to worry about. Yeah, so there we go. Okay, I will do another video once I get some more work done up here, which would be the infill of this and some track laid. Once I've done that, then I'll do another video, but at the moment I've got a hell of a lot of tidying up to do in the garden at the moment. Well, not I, we have got a hell of a lot of work because the thatchers have now gone from rethatching the roof of the cottage, but obviously there's a lot of spare thatch knocking around the garden from blowing in the wind, etc. So we've got to tidy all that up. But yeah, I'll get there. Hope you found that of interest, and bye for now, and I'll speak to you again soon. Okay, bye for now. Bye.